Good afternoon, Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Monday, September the 10th. Well, yet another lawsuit has been filed against a proposed ballot amendment that's on the November election ballot in Arkansas. This lawsuit challenges the amendment that would allow casino gambling in Pine Bluff and in Russellville, and also expand gambling at existing casinos in Hot Springs and West Memphis. Some residents of those cities have filed this lawsuit. They say the ballot title is misleading. They say it doesn't say everything about the amendment, what the amendment will do in terms of ownership of casinos and that sort of thing. Interestingly enough, the lawsuit does not challenge the petition signature gathering process, which has been challenged in two other amendments, both for term limits and for a minimum wage increase. There's also a lawsuit challenging the tort reform amendment, and in that case last week a circuit judge said it should be removed from the ballot, but that decision will be appealed. Well, there's some big news coming today from the Little Rock Catholic Diocese. I've had confirmed by the diocese that they anticipate a news release this afternoon about past cases of priest abuse within the diocese. These are new cases, perhaps as many as 11. I think they will mostly involve priests who are now dead, and they will involve long ago, not recent cases. They may include some financial settlements in some of these cases. Without details, it's hard to say exactly where this will head, but I do think there are going to be some questions about whether there was knowledge of these cases before and they haven't been mentioned, but now they're coming open about these cases because of recent disclosures in Pennsylvania and other states, an attempt to finally put this issue of priest abuse behind them. More to come later. Check the Arkansas blog on that. A lot of developments over the weekend in the small controversy, big in some quarters, about a decision by a state committee to recommend moving the Arkansas Governor's School for Gifted Children, the summer program, from Hendrix College, where it's always been for 38 years, to Arkansas Tech University. It comes with a possible change in curriculum far removed from what the Governor's School was designed to do. Bruce Haggard, who was director of that program for 17 years and who was among the people who drew up the outline to put this popular program in place, wrote about this over the weekend for us, says that the move and a change in curriculum are a bad idea. Joyce Elliott, the state senator from Little Rock, added her voice to opposition today on Twitter, and also there's a petition campaign against this move that's now been signed by 1,000 alumni of Arkansas Governor's School. The State Board of Education is going to take that issue up Thursday. Well, the Legislative Performance Review Committee is meeting as we speak to hear, finally, at least allow voices to be heard from Moms Demand Gun Sense in America. They're going to talk about their opposition to arming school teachers. They're going to talk about their roster of gun safety ideas. State legislators are going to present their idea for a so-called red flag bill that would allow a court order to keep somebody away from guns if they showed they were a danger to themselves or others. And State Senator Will Bond's going to talk about a bill that says you can't buy an assault rifle until you're at least 21 years old. I predict that the Arkansas legislature won't have much good things to say about these common sense gun safety rules, but at least they're going to give them a hearing. The last time they wouldn't even allow them to be heard, and Trent Garner, who's a big gun nut in the legislature, seemed happy about this. He said, "These aren't my people." Well, indeed they're not, and thank goodness Trent Garner isn't our people either. Mike Huckabee, you remember him, the former governor who moved to Florida, which doesn't have an income tax to continue his media career, has gotten involved in a hot issue in Florida, and that's the question of public access to beaches. It's been a right in Florida that the public can have great access. He has a $3 million home on a strip of sugar sand down near Destin, and he's getting behind legislation that would make public access a lot harder. Not too surprising. He says they're throwing cigarette butts and other terrible stuff on his beach, and he just doesn't like it very much, and he pays a lot of taxes for that slice of land. He doesn't mention that he got the law changed to allow him to build there in the first place, because this is an endangered beach that's eroding, and every time you build more houses on these beaches, it makes them more endangered. Well, this afternoon, tonight actually at 6:30 p.m., is the first of a series of 5 forums for candidates in the Little Rock mayor's race. 5 candidates, and they're going to talk tonight about economics. I've got a survey out asking the 5 candidates for yes or no answers on the big 5 state ballot issues. I think they tell you a lot about the kind of city and state that the candidates want people to live in. Do they want a minimum wage increase? Do they want good access to courts, those sorts of things? I've got 3 of the 5 in so far. I'm hoping for a full account. Stay tuned, and I'm going to repeat the results as soon as I can. And finally, in Dallas last night, they finally filed a manslaughter charge against a white police officer who'd killed a black man in his own apartment. She knocked on the wrong door, was confused, she said, about her apartment. When it was opened by a black man, something happened and she killed him. Did it happen because he was black and she was white? Why did it take so long to charge her with manslaughter? Might there be a murder charge possible in this? There's no doubt she shot somebody who opened the door to his own apartment to find a police woman standing there. He was both a Shem Jean, by all accounts, outstanding young man from St. Lucia who graduated from Harding University and went on to a career in accounting. I think, again, whatever the circumstance of this case, how police are handled differently than black suspects is why people kneel and why people who do that deserve some consideration for their point of view. I'm Resisting. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.
You listen to our music, you will feel it. You feel it in here.
The music is surviving, probably more than ever.
We owe it to New Orleans, we owe it to the world to keep it going.
It's a feeling that you have that was deep in you, powerful.
What is Mardi Gras Indian to New Orleans? Mardi Gras Indians is New Orleans.
We created rock and roll. We created swing, you know what I'm saying?